Hey guys, Igni here, coming at you live from a hotel room in Japan. Yeah, I'm overseas right now. Next couple card reviews are probably gonna be like this as well, so hopefully the audio quality isn't too atrocious. This is actually the second time I'm recording this video, because the first time did not work out. But anyway, let's just get right into it. The Twitter here, Shadowverse Games Twitter, the official English Twitter, has revealed couple more cards since the last video we made. Hey, that's me. Let's do the review. Let's go into it. Excuse me if I'm stumbling on my words a little bit. It's been a long day. Karyl, Catty, Sorceress, 6/4/6. Runecraft Legendary. Fanfare, reduce the enemy leader's maximum defense by 5. Union Burst 10. Deal 1 damage to a random enemy follower and 1 damage to the enemy leader 5 times. Evolve, destroy all enemy followers with 3 defense or less. I think this card is hilarious, has insane combo potential with Mysterian Project and Ginger, where you can just play a bunch of cheap Karyls and, as according to this FAQ here, instantly make your opponent lose the match, which is just amazing. I don't think that deck's going to be good though, so you can rest easy about that if you were concerned about that, but it is a hilarious combo. More importantly with Karyl as well is that, well, not more importantly, but in addition, the Union Burst helps you control the board a little bit and also achieve that OTK by dealing damage to the enemy leader, alongside, of course, reducing their maximum defense on the Fanfare. So it really works out in a Ginger deck anyway, because Union Burst reduces with Evos, right? So it all kind of comes together. Evo to get Ginger cheapened, Evo to get the Union Burst counted down, and then play Karyl and just win the game. The thing about Karyl is that it's just also good because the stats are already fine, and then the evolve effect is just an insane AoE clear for Runecraft in a slot where they were kind of missing that for a while now, like for many months now, and I'm playing Runecraft, I'm really missing Nova Flare and Staff of Whirlwinds and all that. I mean, Karyl, Catty, Sorceress, Evo is pretty effective. Being able to essentially clear an entire wide but small board, which is not prevalent in the meta right now, you know what I mean? Like with Swordcraft and with Forestcraft as well. So, yeah, I think Karyl is just a super solid card. Not only for the crazy combo potential on the Fanfare and Union Burst, but just because it's well statted and the evolve is just good. Alright, made it through that first card. Next up, we got Saintly Leader, Havencraft Gold, 3-play.33. Fanfare, gain +X+X. X equals the number of allied followers with war that have been destroyed this match. Enhance 5, deal X damage to an enemy follower. Yet more support for Ward Havencraft, which is shaping up to be more and more promising by the day. Already, this is a well-statted 3-drop with that premium 3/3/3 stat line. And then, in addition to that, it can also just become an overstatted 3-drop, and it's pretty easy to generate Holy Cavaliers. So this can just become quite the powerful follower for extremely cheap. And Ward Havencraft is shaping up to be quite a tempo kind of deck with cards like this. Then that Enhance 5 as well. Just being able to have an overstatted card that also immediately impacts the board the turn you play it and is able to 2-for-1 with an evolve. I think this card is incredibly good, and I think that Ward Havencraft is, like I said, shaping up to be better and better as more cards get revealed, especially with the legendary, the neutral legendary that we're going to be discussing later in this video. Because, man, Athena really makes this deck something to be reckoned with, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Woodland Cleaver, 2-play.21 silver for Forestcraft. Fanfare, put a Greenwood Guardian into your hand. If at least 3 allied Greenwood Guardians have been played this match, deal 2 damage to an enemy follower. Very solid card. Not too bad stats for a 2-drop, especially since it gives you another 2-drop that has the potential upside of being better than a vanilla 2/2, as well as, of course, working in your deck to try and invoke out La Maga. The only problem with that is I still don't know how many Greenwood Guardian cards are there to support this deck and if it's going to be enough. So I think my verdict on this one so far is a solid card in an archetype that I'm not completely sold on. If Greenwood Guardian Forestcraft does end up becoming a deck, then that is going to... Well, it's going to be hilarious because Forestcraft has so many playable archetypes already, so, what's another one, I suppose? But yeah, this card is pretty alright. Moving along, hopefully my clicks aren't just absolutely ruining the mic quality. I really hope not. Man, I was so looking forward to Fairy Circle rotating out because Amataz is a thing, but now we have Spiritshine instead, which is just Fairy Circle with an upside. The additional, if an allied natural and great tree is in play, add 1 to the number of cards played this turn, which is insane, especially in Unlimited, because now that means Amataz in Unlimited, which is already a strong deck, can run 2 Fairy Circles with Fairy Circle and Spiritshine. Man! And then, of course, in rotation, this means that Amataz is very much alive, being able to run Spiritshine over the now rotated Fairy Circle and just get those fairies out there. Of course, without the Natural and Great Tree effect, because Amataz doesn't really run that. If you're playing this in Natura Forestcraft, of course, this activates the effect of what's her face, the cat girl. I've forgotten her name, which is, I'm gonna get roasted in the comments for that, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Latica with Stoneclaw. There you go. I got there. Of course, this activates the effect of Latica, but I feel like this is way more relevant in Amataz, and it keeps Amataz alive in rotation and makes it even more powerful and unlimited. Which I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like that might not be an amazing thing. Moving on, we have Sheep Rider, 4-play.33 neutral bronze. Natura as well. Fanfare, if there are no allied Natura and Great Trees in play, summon one. If an allied Natura and Great Tree is in place, gain +2/+2 instead. This feels like an easier to meet impartial Strix with upside in that, especially if you're playing Dragon, you play Dragon Oracle on 2 and then play this on turn 3, perfectly curved. You get a 3/3 and immediately summon a Great Tree as well, which is not that bad, although I'm not sure if it's, preferable to be run in Natural Dragon over all the other great cards that deck is already running. On the other hand, the Impartial Strix effect, of course, makes this an overstated follower on 4 play points, being able to become a 4 play point 7/7. I just don't know if it's going to reach the same level of notoriety that Impartial Strix did back in the day, given the fact that there's so much more premium removal in the game nowadays for much less cost, like Gourmet Emperor's Kitchen and Angelic Smite and all that. So I'm not entirely convinced that this is going to be as powerful as Impartial Strix was, despite having an upside and an easier to proc effect. Yeah, it's okay. I think it's okay. Moving on. Zashiki-Warashi, it's a Shadowcraft 3.14 bronze follower, Fanfare in hand 6. Evolve this follower, can't be attacked. Follower strike, if the enemy follower has 2 defense or less, perform Necromancy 3. Banish the enemy follower before it can deal any damage in return. Yeah, I think the can't be attacked thing is pretty neat, just because that's proven to be annoying in the past, especially with the stat line that's this bulky this early on, right? It's no pre-nerf PDK, but it's still something. The only thing is that I'm a little bit skeptical on this card being run in 1 Shadowcraft, because I think it pollutes your pull when you really just want to get Ginsetsu more consistently. So, not convinced about that. And outside of 1 Shadowcraft, it just feels like it's a card that's really, really control-oriented, of course, given the follower strike effect here. But I'm not sure if it's just going to be run, because it just feels really, really slow, right? Like, really low attack stat for 3 play points, of course. And it's going to be taking advantage of its effect by spending the entire time trading on board. And the thing it has to trade into has to be weak already. Yeah, I'm not convinced about this. The one good thing about it is that the Enhanced 6, of course, gives you free evolves for maybe potentially getting the Union Burst down on Shinobu, which is also a controlling effect. So maybe control Shadowcrafts, but I'm really not convinced about that. Maybe Zashiki-Warashi will prove me wrong, but yeah. One thing with Zashiki-Warashi, I knew I'd screw up the pronunciation. I probably was screwing up the pronunciation from the beginning anyway. Another thing about this card is that it's also one of those things that's targeted by that previously aforementioned premium removal that we have now in Angelic Smite and Kitchen and all that. So between the awkward placing of this in one Shadowcraft and its otherwise slow application, I'm not entirely sold on this card. I don't think it's very good. Or at least I don't think it's very relevant. I think it could be okay. But I just have a hard time seeing where exactly I would want to run this at the moment. Moving forward, of course, we got the cards I revealed here. Check out my card reveal video if you want my thoughts on... Oh, it's not even loading. If you want my thoughts on this guy, Garyu, Supreme Dragonkin, Supreme Golden Dragon, Supreme Silver Dragon, TLDR. Card is amazing. I love it. I'm so excited to play it. The other card I revealed here, Flame Winged Might. It's a conditional Blazing Breath with a little bit of upside, being able to push a little bit more damage, but the downside, of course, being that you have to have an allied follower in play to play it. So I feel like it's more relevant for dragon decks that are more tempo-based and just trying to push forward a little bit. Less so as a tech like Blazing Breath in just any dragon deck. More so for things that try and push more damage, which I think is nice. And finally, the last two cards here. And this one is one that I'm extremely excited for. Athena Divine Shield, 7/6/7 ward, neutral legendary follower, Fanfare. Give all other allies the following effect. The next time this ally takes damage, reduce that damage to 0. Insanely good card. Let's say you're building a wide board, you play this, your wide board gets harder to deal with, you push damage, or you take good trades. Let's say you're building a tall board, you play this, your tall follower gets harder to trade into, you push face, or, trade advantageously. Let's say you're playing, and I think this is quite intentional, at least my theory is that it is, you play this after Wilbert, turn 6 Wilbert, turn 7 Athena. They both have ward. You're making your wards harder to deal with. You're making it so that they keep doing more ping damage with that leader effect that Wilbert gives you. And also the fact that this affects your leader as well, making it act as combo prevention. I feel like this card has so many uses, fits in so many situations, is especially good in Wardhaven Craft, which is looking up to be a pretty strong potential deck. And I think that Athena Divine Shield is kind of a winner here. I just don't really see a downside of this card, honestly. The fact that it has ward itself makes it, I think. If it didn't have ward itself, it'd be eh. But the fact that it has ward itself just makes it so good. Like I said, especially in Wardhaven Craft, man. The curve just works out too well. As combo prevention, you could tech it in just so that you don't get got by whatever OTK that you're afraid of. That could be coming in this expansion or expansions to come. I just feel like this has so many use cases, and it's just good in so many situations. And the stat isn't even bad. The stats are just vanilla stats for the stat line. So... Athena Divine Shield, amazing card. And Wardhaven Craft, man, that's probably going to be the first deck I craft if I get the cards for it when I do my pack opening, because it's looking really promising. That's the word I was looking for, promising. Not strong potential deck, or whatever I said. Promising, it's promising. Clash of Heroes, the final card here, 1 play point. Neutral spell, select an allied follower and an enemy follower, deal X damage to the first follower and Y damage to the second follower. X equals the attack of the second follower, and Y equals the attack of the first follower. Can be played only when both a targetable allied card and enemy card are in play. I feel like I'd be a lot more convinced about this card if it worked with Bane, but as I'm reading this effect, or the way I'm reading this effect, rather, it's just the value of attack, which is a lot less impressive to me. Like, on one hand, it lets tall followers deal with an opposing board that's wider than theirs, but you're also taking up a deck slot in your deck for that, and you're, down on cards by doing that and dealing with that wide board, and you're not even doing it very effectively. I'm not convinced by Clash of Heroes. I think the ideal situation is, of course, you can spend it on something that doesn't take that much damage in a turn, like you spend it on a, like a hulking Dragonute or something to take out another big follower. But I'm still not convinced. I think the biggest use case for Clash of Heroes in this case is as just a cheap spell for runecraft, which is pretty scary, honestly. It's just a one play point spell that runecraft has access to that can easily be used to target their, clay golem or what have you that they summon. And yeah, just get more spell boost off could be good in arcane item shop as well. One thing I like about the card is the card art. No runecraft follower in the card art, maybe not on brand there, but it is the Swordcraft guy and the Bloodcraft guy fighting there. But like I said, I feel like I'd be more excited about this card if it worked with Bane, but as it stands, Runecraft spell, I think. Yeah. Alright, and that's it for the cards that have been revealed since the last card review video that we've done. Again, the next few card reviews are probably going to be from the hotel. I hope the audio on this one is okay. Like I said, this is already the second time I'm filming this. My voice is getting tired. I'm tired from the long day I've had. And this video is going up no matter what. So thank you for bearing with me. Hopefully we can get this all sorted. And of course, like the video if you did. Don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Shadowverse content in the very near future. And thank you to my wonderful patrons. Patreon.com/Ignideus if you'd like to support the channel as well. I'd highly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.